Hello, everybody. Welcome to another daily dose of gaming news and all that good stuff. And as always, I also publish on Remote and Patreon and anything else I tend to go about on Twitter X. I did manage to publish Death Stranding episode yesterday. Tomorrow will be another one, and Friday another one. So around about 3 episodes per week at this moment, and see if I can keep up with this publishing schedule. Other than that, we got completed gameplay series here, and again, when I have free time, I will try to check if there is any demo that I can get from the games that are on my wish list there. Other than that, let's go to the news. So, um, supposedly, NVIDIA is going to launch the RTX 5050, the desktop version here, um, July 1st, seemingly. Even though we got, I think, maybe an update here from this come from Mega Size GPU. The name is not strange to me of hearing this kind of rumors from GPU stuff there. Supposedly, it might be, yeah. It seems that it was planned for late July, the initial one, but it seems that they basically going to put out now in the beginning of July. This seemingly was an information sent to AIBs or AICs to for them to launch the GPU again. There seems to be no way of them doing this kind of thing in such quick notice, given that we are already 24th of June. I think it's going to be a little bit tricky to go about this. And also launching this GPU this close. I think there is no way of getting any kind of review program planned because again, AIBs cannot provide, I assume, any kind of review samples to the usual outlets that we are used to check these kind of things, which is yeah, it's another shenanigan from NVIDIA, and even the at least the perceived specification of this GPU, it doesn't seem that good. Again, it seems even worse than the 4060 GPU. Again, there is some memory improvements here in terms of the memory clocks, but again, I don't see, given the low end in terms of performance, how the memory can improve that much in terms of performance, especially compared to I don't know, a 4060. Again, given that in terms of on paper so far it seems that it's going to perform worse than the 4060, given that there is I don't know, it doesn't seem that good. I don't even think that the 5068 gigabytes is that better from a 4060. And the fact that I think there are still some issues with the NVIDIA app regarding NVIDIA GPUs. I'm not following that much. And there are also some launches of the 5050 laptop variants, which seems to be not that good also. But then again, they are avoiding any kind of review program, mainly by the fact that they just want to try to hide try to hide this GPU. I think this kind of GPUs, they are more used for system integrators to just tell on the paper sheet specs there that they have a NVIDIA GPU. But yeah, and supposedly it will perform better than the previous generation with all the technology available from NVIDIA. But yeah, I don't think this is going to be a good launch. For sure, I think at least probably if there is enough interest and viewer feedback, probably Gamers Nexus and Hardware Unbox will do a review by it. So buy the GPU and made at least a comprehensive review in the sense to see how it compares with the lineup of the 5000 series, and probably also comparing to some AMD GPUs. And again, given that this is so low entry level, maybe some of the Intel GPUs that are on the market there. And again, I don't know. But yeah, this seems to be another shenanigan from NVIDIA. Again, I don't know. I think this is going to be a disaster launch. Again, they're trying to put under the rug per se, given that they are, I don't know, seemingly, uh, again, just they probably just want to launch this and get over with. On other stuff regarding, to a certain degree, with NVIDIA, we got this video from this person is. Oh my God, I cannot do the highlights here, so I can check what I want to say about this. Uh, Ordinary Uncle Tom, I think it's the ASUS. Oh my God, where is it? Uh, Ordinary Uncle Tom, General Manager was China. Again, sorry, it was here in the beginning. They did a video demonstrating the capabilities of their own power connector for the GPUs, the BTF 2.5, which basically is back to the future connection and system of putting all the connectors on the motherboard there, especially the GPU side of things. And it seems that this might be a good alternative for the 12-volt power pin, so the 16-pin connectors that are introduced were introduced by NVIDIA mainly, and it seems to capable of handling a lot of power delivery. There was certain phases here that it goes about on the video, trying from between 680, 1300, and finally 1900, which basically delivered 150 amps at 12 volts, which is a lot. It's way more, or at least technically more than double what the supposedly 12-volt power pins can handle in terms of their own limitation. Again, the only concern that I have here, given that the test conditions here, again, it was like directly plugging in with some modifications directly on the GPU and just testing power delivery and see how it goes in terms of temperatures. Again, it seemed to went pretty well. My only concern is the long-term effects that might have that this kind of connection, that the BTF Back to the Future connection, might have on the motherboards themselves, given that, again, all the power is delivered through the motherboard itself. So the traces that deliver power are on the motherboard. Again, this is done on a bare bones motherboard just to basically deliver power. I think a more comprehensive showcase of what this connector can do will be better for us to have a better sense of how well this connector might handle high power GPUs like the 5090s and the 6000 series that will eventually come out, and probably from AMD also. Because again, it seems pretty good, and the fact that this new design that they introduced here, you can have not only this BTF power delivery system, which has this now new adapter, because the older design, basically the protrusions of the BTF connector was impossible to connect with any normal motherboard. Now that they have like a basically an adapter that you can put when you're using the BTF system on ASUS motherboards. And then we have also the alternative on these new GPUs, at least from ASUS, which is the 12-volt power pin, which is here, as you can see. I think this is a cover for the connector there. So it's got the dual use in terms of power delivery, which is good because you get alternatives. And of course, in terms of resale potentiality, it's increased because anybody that can buy can use either of these systems. But it seems that the BTF connector, again, if it is this good in terms of at least not burning GPUs and the connectors themselves, and if the motherboards in the future, even if they really need to deliver more power there, which seems to be possible given that the ramp up to 1900 watts power delivery through to PSUs, and there is the possibility of handling at least 150 amps on the 12-volt power rail. It seems, I don't know, a shining light on the future for upcoming GPUs. If we start to see an adoption of maybe a new power delivery system initiated by ASUS. Again, I'm not sure how this will work, royalties and all that jazz again. But it seems if we have at least a standard initiated at least with one of these big companies to try to resolve this situation, which is a disaster with the 12-volt power pins. I think again, I will appreciate if there is a way of doing another showcase with a full assembled PC and do all the testings to see how this might affect, I don't know, the motherboard in kind of a medium to long term situation of high demanding power delivery through the motherboard to the GPU and all that jazz, to see stress tests on the GPUs and all of those things. I think would be a better way of demonstrating the capabilities and, or at least supposedly the superior capabilities of what this BTF framework of power delivery can handle, because as you can see, there is a lot of cherry rigging to a certain degree, which is, I assume, trying to demonstrate the best case scenario for here for this. Even though this, I think it's like temperature sensors, if not mistaken. Usually, it's what they do here. But yeah, hopefully we can get a better sense of I don't know, more comprehensive testing with this in the future. And hopefully, if this is a good option, start adopting this, because again, uh, even with 4090s, all the 4090s, I think some 4080s, and again with the 5090 stuff there, there seems to be still an influx of connector replacement on repair shops. And again, it's not good for the industry itself. And again, I think NVIDIA should already been working on something uh, better than the 12-volt power pin. I think the connector itself, the design around it is very flawed, especially when you start introducing basically the normal occurrence of what people are calling, or some people are calling, the user error in terms of connecting the GPU itself. Again, hopefully this will probably solve the situation on delivering power to the GPUs. But yeah, again, I think a more comprehensive test and showcase of what this can be done with this kind of system. Yeah, I think it might, I don't know, shine a light on people that are worried about buying a high-end GPU and be preoccupied or worried getting a 12-volt power pin connected to a GPU and worry 24/7 if that thing will burn to the ground or not. In other stuff, Mindseye developer built a Rocket Boy. Supposedly is going to begin a mass layoff process, potentially impacting at least 100 employees. Again, because the main studio is based in Scotland and under UK law, there needs to be a 40-day consultancy process, and that needs to be registered. And again, somebody might cut wind of this when the company plans to do 100 or more redundancies. So planning to lay off more than 100 employees, especially at the size of this company here. Yeah, they have around supposedly 300 employees in the UK and another 200 outside UK. And again, if um, if 100 people are laid off, again, one fifth or 20% of the workforce will be laid off. Again, I don't know what they were expecting here. This game has been marred with a lot of or some controversies, mainly the presentation of the marketing of this game. It didn't feel good by any stretch of imagination, at least from the marketing stuff that they've been launching from the last months. My opinion was it will seem very bland. Even in graphic fidelity, didn't seem even an Unreal Engine 5 game. Uh, Again, the shooting mechanics seem a little bit washy-washy. And yeah, and the fact that the even people that got access to the previews, they were not satisfied with that. There was also some stuff with the Glassdoor site reviews from former and current staff that, again, the studio workplace was a shit show to work with. And then 1 week before the game was officially launched, there was the CFO and another high executive. They just left the studio out of nowhere. Yeah, uh, this game is not a good one. There seems to be a lot of problems, especially in terms of technically on the game itself, and the fact that the game is not a good game. I don't know what they were expecting here. And then we got post-launch and even pre-launch, all this guy, the previous I completely forgot the name of this guy, but supposedly was a producer on the GTA series. Again, producer can mean a lot of things or anything at all. It was blaming that were some insiders being paid for from 2K to or Rockstar Studios to talk bad about this game. Again, a lot of drama. That I think he thought that any kind of marketing is good marketing for the game, but again, by the end, when you launch a product, if the product is not good, everybody will see that. In other stuff, reviews from Death Stranding 2 started to came out yesterday. It seems to be the consensus here in terms of the Metacritic scores. Again, this game for the moment seems to be a time exclusive for PS5. I did manage to watch a lot of reviews, at least 5 reviews from different creators, so I can have a better sense of what people were saying is congruent with each other. There were some outliers, specifically GameSpot, and to a certain extent the WCCF Tech. But the consensus seems to be, again, it's at its roots, it's Death Stranding, but bigger and improved in basically all aspects. Mainly the part of the action gameplay part of the game, which indicates a little bit regarding the mule camps or the terrorist camps that you go about it and how you can approach. You have more tools to go about this. The shooting mechanics when you use weapons seem to be a little bit more tighter in that sense. But then again, this is not a shooter by any stretch of imagination. The main gist is try to do the deliveries in all that that all those systems around that. The delivery system is the main game per se, even though you have more tools at your disposal this time to go about and interact with when you have to do some recovery missions, navigating the world through BT territories and all that jazz, and like random encounters. We have now the random events on the world, from earthquakes, flash floods. There are, I think, some volcano eruptions from the snippets of the videos that I saw. Again, you got a lot of different things here. The asynchronous multiplayer seems to be improved also from what my understanding there. So it has at least the same base line that was introduced on the first game, which is porters helping each other to traversing the and using tools and all that jazz. You got the monorail system. Again, I try not to get spoiled too much when watching the review, so I was just listening to the review, so I didn't see a lot of footage, so I don't get spoiled. There are some returning characters. You got Higgs and I think Deadman also. You got some new characters introduced there. The highlights from the consensus that I saw was this one, which is Rain, whatever she's called, the character. Then you got also Tomorrow, which is played by, where is she? Here. I completely forgot the name, the actor's name. Seems to be an interesting character from the reviews. Yeah, these two seems to be uh, like an excellent introduction. We got also George Miller, the director of Mad Max, as a recurring secondary character. There are more customization options now, which is pretty good. It's one of the things that I was kind of complaining to a certain extent. But basically, what Death Stranding 2 seems to me is the continuation and expansion of what Death Stranding 1 is. It's unabashedly the expansion of the vision that Kojima had on the first game. It seems to me. I think the story is a little bit more understandable, let's say, for people that are not used to getting with Kojima games. Again, Kojima usually tends to use fantastical things to try approach certain themes, and to a certain degree leaves always almost like Miyazaki to interpretation in certain way. But the cutscenes are pretty good. The way he directs the cutscenes seems to be a little bit more in line here. In terms of the one of the things that amazed me was the fact that they managed to took Decima engine up a notch in terms of graphic fidelity and how the world behaves. And even in terms of performance of how PS5, specifically PS5 Pro, can handle all that graphic fidelity and all the random stuff that can happen on the game, it seems to handle pretty well. Which might indicate when the game comes to PC, I think if at least the port is as good as the Death Stranding one is, I think we have an excellent game. And again, this from the ASUS Tech is still kind of review in progress or whatever it is. But yeah, one of the things that it seems to me that specifically I think was GameSpot. I saw that on my Twitter feed, and it seems also this one. It's there was some things regarding a perpetual damsel in distress narrative. Again, I don't know. This kind of a wookie kind of thing trying to, I don't know, downplay because people cannot take it the game as it is. Again, people forget the setting of the game, and they always try to, I don't know, translate what's happening in a work of fiction to the real world and have the same kind of I don't know, values that they have personally, and they usually take it very personally. I don't know, I assume so. Again, this con regarding barren landscape when playing solo, that's one of the purpose of the game, is the feeling of loneliness, because Death Stranding in the end is connections, human connections, and how difficult can be to make human connections, and the fact that the barren landscape enhances the loneliness that you can feel while playing the game. You can feel that even in the first one. You basically never see persons. You always looking them, or they are inside the bunker, or they always is some kind of hologram. There is never human interactions per se, in especially sorry, but in some instances on kind of the side characters there. An example, the fragile Iggs, you have a more direct contact with them also, and also like Deadman. Other than that, you just seeing holograms. It's trying to enhance that feeling of loneliness when you are out in the world, and the fact that there is a difficulty, especially in this world, to make human connections. Um, they say the combat can sometimes feels like a chore again, depending. Again, it can feel a little bit chory in that Stranding, even though I discover some stuff that you can do while on the combat side of things that helped me a lot in the latest videos that I record there. There, this Muffin Man, I don't know what this is, or Trails of Cold Steel-esque dialogue. I don't know what they are referring here. But other than that, the consensus seems to be almost a potential game of the year, which is good to see because, again, with the exception so far, at the time of the recording this, that the consensus is 90s at least. There are some outliers that go below, even below 70 in terms of score. But yeah, there seems to be an overall upgrade in terms of everything that it's coming about from Death Stranding 1, an apologetic expansion of the ideas that Kojima did manage to tackle on the first one. Again, the map seems a little bit better now also, which is a relief for me, because the map on the first one, it can be a little bit tricky to get around and see how you can traverse and plot your routes. Again, there is also a kind of RPG-ish kind of a thing there in terms of how you can, you see that snippet there of you can have now kind of abilities, it seems, for you to put on your character, so you can enhance your experience. For example, in terms of, you want to be like a more porter heavy kind of play style there, or if you have want to have more abilities that can help you out better in combat and all that jazz. But yeah, seems to be an excellent game, an improvement in all senses from the first one. And then last we got here THQ Nordic digital showcase set for August 1st. So we are at least a month and some days from it. The only thing that I'm interested from this showcase is see a little bit more of this Reanimal stuff. This Reanimal game seems like a horror game with a lot of body horror. And then The Eternal Life of Goldman. It seems a very interesting game, like a platformer, 2D platformer. It's like animation, Ghibli style animation there. Other than that, the God Remake doesn't seem to be an excellent game. I saw some previews. The game, again, they try, but I don't think it's going to be, at least from what I saw, any kind of huge surprise here. I think it's going to be a disappointment regarding the original one. Then you got Titan Quest 2. Again, I don't know what they are doing here with this game. And then Wreckfest 2. Again, it's a car smashing game there. It's usually not my jam there, but yeah. I think the only thing that interests me and try to follow up on this one is Reanimal and the Eternal Life of Goldman. But yeah, this is what I got for you today. Just going to wrap up with some gaming deals. We got still Black Myth Wukong 20% off. We got Blasphemous series 90% on the first one, and Blasphemous 2 50% off. We got Dave the Diver still on sale, 40% off. It seems a pretty good one. We got Dead Space Remake. Again, I can recommend this one at this price point. There's no need to for the deluxe edition unless you want to get the skin suits. But yeah, it plays pretty well, at least as I remember Dead Space, the original one. The way the story is unfolding, it got some tweaks here and there because again, all three Dead Space games already came out, so the way you go about on getting some lore is more direct, less mysterious to a certain point. But the only complaint that I have is some traversal stuttering that happens here and there that might have some frame time issues or even like some spikes in terms of the stuttering there. Other than that, plays very well. And I do recommend it. If you want to have a sense, just check the first couple episodes that I did for this game on the series that I made here. Then we got Death Stranding. Again, Director's Cut, 6% off. Director's Cut is the way to go. And yeah, I cannot recommend this game enough. Again, it's a Kojima game. The way he goes about it's very interesting. Basically, the human connection part of the things there. Yeah, the themes that it tries to tackle here are pretty good, and I did enjoy, and I'm enjoying still because I didn't wrap up the game yet. But yeah, I'm enjoying very much this game so far. Then you got Dredge, 50% off, and also the deluxe edition, the same thing there. We got Jagged Lines free, 50% off. Again, turn-based combat, squad management, mercenaries, all that jazz. This one seems to be a pretty good one also. We got Nine Souls, around about a day or so until the deal is off. It's 30%. We got Nier series, so Nier Replicant and Nier Automata, 60% on both of them. Again, I still need to start off playing these games one of these days. We got Observer System Redux. Seems a pretty good game, 70% off. Again, it's kind of a first-person detective thing there. I heard good things about it. Again, from Bloober Team, it seems a very good game, especially for this price point. We got Pacific Drive also 50% off. And then lastly, we got the Callisto Protocol. Again, mixed reviews all over the place. Again, when the game was launched, was marred with a lot of performance issues. I think they patched the majority of them. I made a gaming series out of this. I managed to claim it for free from Epic Game Store. I didn't encounter major stuff in terms of performance there. With some tweaks here and there, it plays pretty smoothly. At least that's what I remember there. But I did a gaming series. If you want to check how it feels, you can check out again the first couple episodes to have an idea how this game feels. But yeah, I can recommend at this price point. There is not going to be a fall. The only backdrop is the story kind of finishes in a little of a cliffhanger. And supposedly there's not going to be a follow up on this one. It might be an issue if you want to check the story, even though they put some stuff there that is very interesting for lore and story purposes. Even though they don't explore fully, I think they were expecting to explore that in the next game. But yeah, it's not a Dead Space game. it's very much in terms of combat mechanics, very much its own thing. So don't expect. I think it's one of the reasons that also people give it mixed results. Again, this is not a Dead Space spiritual successor or anything like that. But yeah, I'll wrap up here for today with a plug on my Patreon for extra support. The extra support is more in line for the moment, trying to get a better storage solution so I can have backups for the stuff that I do for my clients, and of course some extra space for the videos that I do for the channel. And with all that said, I hope you have a wonderful day. I will see you in the next one. So till then, Kunamy Master out.